Right, so let's create the logic for this. So what we want to do is that whenever the component loads, we want to trigger a function that is going to get the deadline, where this event is going to start, and the date right now. And we're going to compare. So this component did mount will be triggering this function on a loop after 1 second. So for this, we can use a set interval. So after 1 second, we're going to be running a function. So it's going to be after 1 second. Now, of course, we need to do this dot get time until, and we're going to run this function. Of course, nothing happened so far. Now we need to know where or when actually the deadline of this show is going to be. When it's going to be this singer doing the show. So we're going to host this inside of the state. So I'm going to go right here and say deadline, something like that. So the date is going to be first the month in this format, then comma space, then the day, comma space, and the year. So this is the format we're going to be using. So then comma, and right here we're going to be storing how many days, how many hours, how many minutes, and how many seconds. And this is going to go from the get time until. So first we have days. Oh, not daddy, days. Okay, sorry. So then we have 0 days, all right? The application starts with 0. So then comma, we have hours, then we have 0, then comma, we have minutes. All right, same thing, we have 0 and then seconds, and then again 0. All right, so we have a deadline right now. So whenever we run this function, I want to pass to the function when the deadline is going to be ending, when this is going to end. So when it's going to end, it's going to be the deadline. So we pass that state, that deadline. So instead of doing this, you can just leave this to empty, and instead of get time until, you can get it from this deadline. This doesn't change when the application loads. So I'm pretty much doing the same thing. So okay, so here's the thing. Here's the important part. I'm going to create a variable called time. Now time is going to get the deadline, and it's going to get the today's date, and it's going to get them both, and it's going to rest this deadline minus the current date. So if we get a negative number, it means that the date of the event already passed. That's what's going to happen. So if it didn't pass, it's going to be a positive number. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to say date dot parse open and close, and I'm going to make a reference to the argument we are passing, which is deadline and deadline. All right. So it's going to be minus date, same thing, date dot parse open and close, and we calculate the new date. So I'm going to bring today's date, right? So if I console log, I'm going to do console log, and I console log time. Let me reload the application. We're going to get the current time after 1 second. Now if I change this to January, and let me change it first, Jan, and we are on, I'm right here on July, so of course the date already passed, so we should be getting a negative number, and we do. All right, so now really simple. What we can do, we can create a conditional if time it's less than 0. Of course we can do something else. I'm not gonna really do it right now. Maybe saying date passed, something like that, something simple. We could hide, this component. I'm not going to really do it. We're going to do a lot of things a lot more difficult than this and fun than this. So now what we need to do, we need to calculate each second, date, hour, and minute. Okay, so I'm going to create a variable and there we go. So I'm going to do const, and first I'm going to get the seconds. So the seconds, you're going to use a math dot, then floor, open and close. Now to get the seconds, what we need to do is to bring the time divided by 1000 and then get it from 60. So open and close one more time. So it's time dot forward slash 1000 and then by 60. So if I do a console log for the seconds, let me just show you. Console. So, oh, of course, the date passed. Let me change to December. All right. So we get 16, 15, 14 until of course, the next minute. All right. So I'm going to copy this one and I'm going to do the minutes. So minutes and the math, it's kind of pretty much the same, but not really. After the 1000 forward slash and then 60. That is it with the numbers. Now with the hours, it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to copy this one for now and say hours. And I'm going to delete this one right here, mat floor. So for the hours, we do again, a parenthesis, and then time, and then forward slash, and we need to open a new parenthesis. So all of this is, of course, vanilla JavaScript. So we need to do 1000, then star, then 60, star, and then 60. And everything is going to be by 24. So this is how we get the hours. Of course, you can get this from Stack Overflow. So then for instead of hours, we're going to calculate the days. So for the days, it's going to be the time. This is going to be the same. Forward slash inside of parenthesis, 1000 by 60 by 60 by 24. And then, of course, I'm going to remove this 24. That's it. And okay, I have one more. Let me just make sure of this. I'm wrapping everything in on one parenthesis. So there we go. This is what we need to do. Time, then 1000, 60, 60, and then 24. And this is how we get the dates. So now we have the seconds, minutes, hours, and days. So what we need to do, we just need to set the state. So this dot set state, open and close, and then days. And okay, since we are using the same names for the same values, we can use some ES6 magic. So we can use days, hours, just like this. Then we have minutes, and then we have seconds. So this, if you don't know ES6 that much, this is going to be translated as days equals days. So key value pair. So if the key and the value are the same name, we can do it like this, and ES6 will translate this for us. So if I reload the application, of course, nothing really happens right now because everything happens on the state. And right here, we have a kind of a hard-coded values right here at the bottom. So let me move this. So, okay, so first we need to calculate the days. So open and close. And this one is going to be equal to this, that state, that days. All right, I'm going to do the same thing for hours, but instead of days, it's going to be hours. Copy, then go to minutes. And there we go. And the last thing, it's seconds. So seconds. All right, let's see if this works. All right, so we get 2 seconds and the minute changes and everything starts again. All right, so everything works. Okay, so now I'm going to zip this, I'm going to zip the project so you can get the files until this section. And we're going to be moving forward to the next one, to this one, and it's going to be really, really simple.